Well, hello again. Old Outdoor Broad here with the third installment detailing my cochlear implant adventure. So here's where we're at. So last week I had the equipment uh, put on. I was introduced to the equipment, shown how to put it on. So just a little recap: in a cochlear implant, some electrodes are surgically installed into your cochlea. That's the surgery piece. And then you have to recover a little bit and heal from the surgery. So that was 3 weeks. And then, like I said, a week ago, I had the appointment to go in and actually get the equipment and get started with the cochlear implant. So I'm wearing it right now. So let me tell you how that's been and what that consists of. So I had to have two hearing aids, one on my left ear, one on my right. My right ear got so bad, I stopped wearing my right hearing aid and was only wearing my left. My left ear has a volume issue, but sound quality and comprehension of words is pretty good in my left ear. So, what you do when you get the implant is you're encouraged, highly encouraged, to not wear the other hearing aid. And eventually, I'll get a left hearing aid that quote, quote, matches the implant. But I'm not getting that until my brain has learned to interpret the new signals that it's getting in my right ear. So that's the process. So I only am using the implant. I'm not using a left hearing aid at all as I try to learn how to process these new signals. Now, when they first put it on, there was a lot of buzzing. As a matter of fact, every morning when I put it on, it's buzzing like insects, and then that clears. I anticipate that won't last forever, but right now that's how it is. It's kind of like my brain is waking up. So when I was in the doctor's office and they first put it on, there was all this, distortion. And of course, it wasn't as loud as the hearing aid. And if you remember from my last little episode on this, I was using the wrong hearing aid in my left ear. So I was being blasted with sound. So I have to get past that. But it sounded like it was really, you know, light in terms of the volume. And there was a lot of noise. And they said that noise is not the device, that's your brain. That is the best right now that your brain can do with the signals that it's receiving. And that's what you have to learn. So that's like, wow, okay. Um, but as we were talking, I noticed that it got a little bit better pretty quickly, but there's still noise. And even now, as I listen to myself talking, there's a residual background noise with it that is still there. Also, I'm still feeling a little bit like the volume is a little low. And so I have another appointment day after tomorrow. So they do a follow up a week later just to see, how you're doing. And we'll make some volume adjustments then. There's an app on your phone that I can use to do that, but I don't really want to do that. Again, just because of using that really loud hearing aid in my left ear for so long, I know my expectation of the sound isn't realistic. And I'm going to need some help to get it to be more realistic. One of the other really interesting things is I was driving home from that appointment with just the implant, and I was listening to music. And right off the bat, that was a huge improvement. Um, a lot because of the distortion of the left hearing aid, the wrong hearing aid in the wrong ear. So the quality of what I was getting was already higher. I mean, I could hear bass tones, and I haven't really heard bass tones in a long, long, long time. So I noticed that. And then when I was out on the golf course, one of my favorite places to be, I started to hear more birds. I mean, I heard birds, but I was able to now hear the cooing of a dove. And unless the dove was real close to me before, I didn't really hear the cooing. And of course, part of that is because I wasn't hearing the true sound of it. I was hearing something distorted because of the incorrect hearing aid. So I'm hearing that cooing of doves. I'm hearing many more songbirds. And that was one thing I noticed like right away. So that was pretty cool to start to hear that. I could also discern in a mixture of bird sounds, I could distinguish quail from doves. And I probably wasn't able to do that before unless there was only a dove or only some quail, and I was looking right at them, and then I would know it was the quail because their sound is very similar. So I'm really excited about that. The potential for hearing music in particular is a big thing because I just haven't heard it well in such a long, long time. So I will report after my next appointment on any changes. But I guess if I were going to pass along the key learnings from this experience is it takes 2 to 3 months. I was told it'd be 2 to 3 months before I could really hear like I'm supposed to with the implant. So be patient. Don't put your other hearing aid in. If you've only got the one implant, let it be. It's kind of hard and it felt weird at first. It felt like I wasn't hearing anything. But again, the truth is, I was being bombed with stuff and I just had to learn to hear sound more normally and be willing to accept that. And so I have done that. They told me that sometimes they even have an earplug in for people who still have hearing in one ear, just like a muscle, your brain gets that workout from its new signals. So be patient. Know that it's going to make noise. It isn't perfect. Like I said, I still hear distortion right now with my own voice. I hear it when I'm talking with others, and because I only have one ear and it isn't up to speed, it's still problematic. In noisy areas where there's more than one conversation, or even outside. If it's just me and one other person and we're outside, and of course, outside there's always background noise, it's still difficult, but I'm resisting the temptation to put in the hearing aid, and I'm going with it because, of course, I really, really want this to work. So that's where I'm at. I'll report again after my appointment in a couple days. And I am really, really, really looking forward to hearing you all in the old outdoors. Thanks again for watching.